Hey guys, hopefully everyone is doing well. Today's target is to solve question number 5. The chapter which we are related with is cash book, and as you can see, there is a new element involved in question number 5 from the following particulars. Prepare triple column cash book. Spellings are not correct over here. Triple column cash book we are going to start. It means there would be three columns now involved. Initially cash and bank, two columns were involved, and now a third column which is discount that would be involved. So guys, let's start first part of our question where we will enter these transactions into journal. Now this is your journal. You can see that as usual 3 lines, and now first entry is December 1. Let's put December first entry, and that entry is having two parts, cash in hand and cash at bank. So first we will see cash in hand, and as usual this entry is almost present in every question. Cash in hand means cash is not going out, cash is not coming in, it is cash in hand. It is favorable asset should be debited, so cash is debited. Since cash is not going out, not coming in, so you will give a reference as balance. How much amount? 3000. Just put 3000 on debit side, and same amount would be posted on credit side. In this way, first entry has been completed, cash to balance. Then again we will write December 1, but A part, where second part is saying cash at bank. So you will write same narration. Similarly, amount is present in bank account which is favorable. Asset should be debited, so you will write bank at debit side, and since it is just balance, so you will mention it at credit side. How much amount? 140,000. You will write 140,000 on debit side, and same amount would be written on credit side. So cash at bank means bank to balance. Then we have December 2nd. Let's put the entry. This is nearly new entry for you, but in previous chapters we have done it. Received rupees 19,800 and discount allowed. First we need to put a little more space over here. So let's put, as this entry includes one more element, so that is why a little more space would be needed over here. Okay guys, we have cash received and discount allowed. This is our narration. Cash received, it means cash is coming in. Cash is your asset is increasing, increase in asset should be debited, so cash is debit. From whom you are receiving this cash? The person is Ramesh. He was your account receivable, he was your asset, now amount has been received, he is no more asset, asset decrease in asset should be credited, so Ramesh is required to be written on credit side. But discount allowed, this is very important to understand. When you are giving discount, it means amount would be decreased, it would be your expense. Again, when you are saying someone to give or to provide you less amount, it's your loss, it's your expense, expenses should be debited, so discount allowed would be written at debit side. Now see how much amount you have received, 19800. So you will write 19800 over here. And how much is discount? It is mentioned clearly, 200. You have written over here. But now amount of remise is not mentioned. Please note it down. From this entry you can see only two amounts are present. Third amount is not present. But we do know debit and credit are always equal. Debit and credit are always equal. Similarly, we will equalize debit and credit. How? Look, the amount which is present on debit side, sum of this amount should be present on credit side. So what we will do, 19,800 add 200. So we have 20,000. Now debit and credit side becomes equal. In this way, December 2nd entry is completed. Now December 3 is our next target. Let's see what December 3rd is saying. Deposited into the bank. Narration is similar to previous question. Deposit in bank, which means amount is deposited into the bank, which shows cash is going out, which is your asset. Asset decreasing. Decrease in asset should be mentioned on credit side. Where this cash had gone to the bank means amount present in your bank account has been increased. Increase in bank account should be debited. So you will write bank on debit side, December 3rd, 10,000. So we will write 10,000 on debit side, and same amount we will be writing on credit side. So this is December 3rd. Now December 4. Let's see what December 4 is saying. Purchase goods paid by check. You can write purchased by check. We have made a short narration over here. Purchase goods. Goods are coming in which are near asset. Asset are increase. Increase and asset should be debited. So we were supposed to write goods over here. But instead of goods, we write working. What working we are doing? Purchase. So we will write purchase over here. Goods were written just for the reference. You may erase it. Now goods are purchased by check. What will happen? The person from whom you have purchased these goods, you will give him a check. He will go to your bank account, will present this check and will withdraw amount from your bank account. With this, amount present in your bank account would be decreased. Decrease in bank means decrease in asset, which should be credited. So you will credit your bank account. Goods purchased from check by check, purchased to bank. So here we have our December 4th entry. Goods purchased by check, 50,000 was the amount. You will write 50,000 on debit side and same amount would be written on credit side. December 4 is completed. Now December 5 is saying sold goods to Amir on credit. So here sold goods to Amir. We will understand that it is a credit transaction. December 5th was the date. Okay, let's check it out. December 5th. Yes, sold goods. Okay guys, we have sold our goods, means goods are going out, goods are asset. Decrease in asset should be mentioned on credit side. So we were going to write goods, but in accounting we do not write goods. Instead of goods we write working. What working we are doing? We are selling goods. So you will mention sales. Goods were written just for the reference. You may erase it. Next, you have sold goods. You have sold these goods to Amir. So now Amir is the person from whom amount is receivable. He is favorable for you. He is your asset. Asset should be written on debit side. So we will mention Amir as account receivable on debit side. December 5th was the entry. 14,000 is amount. You will mention 14,000 on debit side and same amount would be written on credit side. Now let's see what is after December 5. It is December 7. Let's put the date December 7 and it is saying receive from Amir a check. Please note we have just received. We have not banked this check. That means only check has been received. So we will mention it check received from Amir. When you will receive this check and you have not banked it, it means there will not be a bank account will not be mentioned over here. You have just received. So for the time being, you will consider it as cash. Check is coming in, which is your asset. Asset should be debited. So you have debited cash instead of check. We have received this check from Amir. Amir was a person from whom amount was receivable. We have mentioned it. He was your asset, but now we have received the amount. He is no more our asset. Asset has been decreased. Decrease in asset should be credited. So we will mention Amir at credit side. December 7. How much amount? Whole of the amount we have received 14,000 would be written on debit side and same amount we will mention on credit side. December 7 is completed. Cash to Amir. Then we have December 8. Let's mention the date first. And December 8 is saying sold goods for cash. We will mention here sold goods for cash. When you will sell goods, your goods will go out. Goods are your near asset. Asset are decreasing. Decrease in asset should be credited. So you were supposed to mention goods. But in accounting, we do not write goods. Instead of goods, we write working. What working we are doing? Sales. Goods were written just for the reference. We are erasing them. In this way, sale is written on credit side. And next we will see what will come in. When you will sell goods, you will receive cash. Cash is your asset increasing. Increase in asset should be mentioned on debit side. So cash is mentioned on debit side. In this way, our entry, what we have done is sold goods for cash, cash to sales. Let's mark it as it has been completed and ending border we are putting. So guys, in this way, December 8 entry has been completed and that is also for 14,000. We will write it on debit side and same amount would be posted on credit side. December 8. Now December 9 is our next target. And let's see what 9 is saying. Paid Salim check discount. So we will write the same narration. Paid Salim check and discount. We don't have much space. Let's make it short. December 9. Paid Salim by check and discount. Since we have paid by check, so what will happen when you will pay amount through check? You will, okay, so we have paid this check to Salim. When you will give this check to Salim, Salim will go to your bank account and will withdraw amount from your bank, with which what will happen? Your bank account would be decreased, amount would be withdrawn. Bank is your asset, asset has been decreased, decrease in asset should be mentioned on credit side. So you will mention bank on credit side. Now, to whom you have given this check? The person name is Salim. Salim was the person to whom amount was payable. That is why you are paying. He was your account payable. He was your liability. As you have paid, your account payable or liability has been decreased. Decrease in liability should be mentioned on debit side. That is why you will write Salim as account payable on debit side. Please understand, Salim was your account payable. He was required to be written on credit side. But since he had paid the amount, liability decrease. Decrease in liability should be mentioned on debit side. So you have mentioned Salim on debit side. Now there is another thing. When you are paying cash, you will receive discount. It has been mentioned over here. Discount received. Whenever you will receive discount, you will be happy. It is your income. Income should be mentioned on credit side. So you will name discount on credit side. Now let's see how much amount. You have paid check 19,600. So amount present in your bank account would be decreased by 19,600. Discount is also mentioned by 400. Just write down 400. Similar to previous entry, amount of Salim is not mentioned. Again, we will apply simple accounting principle. Debit is always equal to credit. Credit would always be equal to debit, with which what will happen? You will take sum of credit side and will write on debit side. Now you can see debit and credit becomes equal. So December 9 entry has been completed. Now let's see what December 11 is saying to us. Put the date December 11. Paid telephone charges. This is our narration. Telephone charges paid. When you will pay telephone charges, it is your expense because you will be continuously paying telephone bill. Telephone charges paid. So cash will go out. Cash is your asset. Asset is decreasing. Decrease in asset should be credited. So you will mention cash on credit side. Telephone charges expense. Expenses should be debited. So you will write telephone charges on debit side. December 11. Amount was 1200. So just mention 1200 on debit side and same 1200 would be written on credit side. December 11 is completed. Now December 13 we will see, and let's see what December 13 is saying. Purchase goods for cash. Simple entry we have done for so many times. Purchased goods by cash. December 13. So here we have December 13 purchase goods for cash. When you will buy goods, goods are coming in, goods are your near asset, asset increase in asset should be mentioned on debit side. So we were supposed to write goods, but in accounting we do not write goods. Instead of goods we write working. What working we are doing? Purchases. So you will write purchase. Goods were written just for the reference. You may erase it. When you have bought goods by cash, cash will go out. It is your asset. Asset is decreasing when you are paying. Decrease in asset should be credited. So you will credit cash as decrease in asset. Entry is purchase to cash. December 13 is completed. Now December 19. Put date over here. December 19 is saying withdraw from bank for business use. So you will write withdraw from bank. Obviously, when you will draw something, it would be cash. Cash is coming in. Cash is your near asset. Asset should be debited. So you will debit cash. When you will draw amount from your bank, what will happen? Your amount present in your bank account would be decreased. Bank is your asset. Asset would be decreased. Decrease in asset should be credited. So you will mention name of bank on credit side. Withdraw from bank, cash to bank. And now let's see how much amount has been drawn 20,000. So you will mention 20,000 over here and same amount would be written on credit side. We have not written the amount of December 13 as well. Amount of 13 is 8,000. Let's put 8,000 on debit side and same we will write on credit side. So withdrawn from bank, cash to bank. December 19 is completed. Now December 25 is your next target. And let's see what December 25 is saying. Paid rent by check. Let's mention rent paid by check. When you will pay rent, it is your expense because you will again and again be paying rent. Rent is your expense. Expenses should be debited. So you will mention rent on debit side. As you have paid this rent by check, the person to whom you have given this check, he will go to your bank account, will present this check and will withdraw amount from your bank. Amount present in your bank account would be decreased. It means your asset is decreasing. Decrease in asset should be credited. So your bank account would be decreased. December 25th amount is 1400. Let's mention 1400 on debit side and same amount would be written on credit side. Rent paid by check, rent to bank is your entry. After December 25th, last entry is December 31. Let's put the date. And December 31 is saying stationery purchased by cash. Let's mention stationery purchased by cash. Stationery would be an expense because it is of a daily use. You will be using this stationery again and again, so it would be an expense. Expenses should be mentioned on debit side. So you will mention stationery on debit side. When you will purchase stationery, cash will go out, your asset would be decreased. Decrease in asset should be mentioned on credit side, so you will mention cash on credit side. December 31 and amount is 300, so you will mention 300 on debit side and same amount would be written on credit side. So the entry which we have made is stationery to cash, stationery purchase, stationery to cash. Guys, in this way, all of our entries completed from December 1. Look at this, this is December 1. And till December 31, all of journal entries are completed. It means our first part of question has been completed. Though solution is in front of you, that doesn't mean you have understood. Please practice it. If you have any query, any difficulty or any misunderstanding, you are very open to ask your queries, questions or problems through text, comments, or you can directly meet to share your queries. I would 100% be available to answer your questions. So we are ending this part 1 lecture. In part 2, we will make triple column cash book. Thank you very much for your time. It's time to say goodbye. Allah Hafiz.